Hi, Katrina Tierney here from IMS, here to talk about online security for teachers. Zoom wants to make sure that you and your students are just as protected online as you are in a traditional setting. So, here are 10 helpful tips to help you feel more secure in your virtual classrooms. At number 10, what's the magic word? Don't forget to password protect your classroom. All you have to do is create a password and then share it with your students safely through the school email so that only those invited to take part can access your virtual classroom. At number 9, worth waiting for. Another really great feature of a Zoom virtual classroom is the waiting room. This is one of the best ways to protect your class from Zoom bombers and keep it secure. Now, this feature is on by default, and when enabled, you'll have two options for who goes to the waiting room: all participants or guest participants only. And this should be set for all participants as best practice. At number 8, cutting down the chat. Did you know that teachers can restrict the in-class chat so that students can't privately message each other? Instead of disabling chat completely though, Zoom recommends controlling chat access from the security icon. This way pupils can still interact with the teacher to ask them a maths question or to tell them all about their new dog Fluffy. At number 7, ID please. Never use your personal ID for a class. Instead, Zoom recommends that you generate a random meeting ID so that it cannot be shared multiple times. You can also ensure more privacy by requiring registration. This basically means it'll show every email address of everyone who signed up and can also help you keep track of who's attending. At number 6, lock it down. So just like teachers like to close their classroom door after the school bell goes, did you know that you can lock a Zoom session that's already started so that no one else can join? All you have to do is allow your students a couple of minutes, maybe 10, to join, and then click the security icon at the bottom of your Zoom window, and then click the button that says Lock Meeting. At number 5, screen sharing is caring. Did you know that Zoom have updated their default screen sharing settings? This means that teachers now have more control over what their students are viewing, and it also means you can stop them from sharing unwelcome content. Sharing privileges will be set to host only, which means teachers by default are the only ones who can share content in class. Then, when you would like your pupils to share their work with the group, you can allow screen sharing in the host controls. At number 4, your name's not down. If an uninvited guest manages to gain entry, the good news is you can easily remove them from the security icon or the participants panel. Just use your mouse to select a participant's name in the panel and then click to remove them, and the good news is they won't be allowed back in. Speaking of names, you may have seen the story that went viral recently about school children who changed their Zoom name to Reconnecting, so it looked like they were having internet problems and then avoided any questions from their teachers. While this made for an amusing lockdown story, it also serves to remind us about the importance of security features. So, to avoid this and any other colourful names, you can simply disable this ability for anyone to rename themselves at the account, group and user level in your settings. Or if the class is already in session, you can toggle this capability under the security icon. At number 3, taking charge. If your class is interrupted by something as innocuous as a lawyer with a kitten filter or something more sinister, you and your co-host can pause the meeting to remove and report the party crasher and prevent further disruption. To do this, once again, just go to your security icon and simply select Suspend Participant Activities. This will temporarily pause all video, audio, in-meeting chat, screen sharing and recording. And then when you're ready, you can resume the class by re-enabling the individual features. At number 2, the art of distraction. Let's face it, there's nothing more off-putting in a virtual classroom than background distractions. So, whether it's the family dog barking, dancing siblings, or waving classmates, you can eliminate this by turning off a student's video during class. Silence is also golden, so don't forget you can also mute individual students or all of them at once. And mute upon entry is particularly handy to keeping the mayhem of arrivals down to a minimum. Under the security icon, teachers can also hide profile pictures of anyone who doesn't have their video on. Only their names will then be displayed, and thanks to our earlier tip, it won't be reconnecting. You can also set this option as default in the in-meeting section of your Zoom settings. And finally, at number 1, we've got your back. Security is of the utmost importance at Zoom, which is why teachers and other hosts can report users to Zoom's Trust and Safety team. They will then review any potential misuse of the platform and take appropriate action. This option can also be found within the security icon, where you can attach screenshots and any other documentation as needed. So for more technical tips and resources on Zoom, you can find out more information on Zoom's security webpage and the iEducate website. Just follow the details below.